Monster Truck fans, welcome to the Plateau Arena 2025 point series for your August 14th event coverage. Our first competition of the event is going to be timed racing with El Toro Loco starting us off. El Toro Loco coming into this event has 3 racing wins in a row. Let's see if he can make it 4 in a row for event 20 here at the Plateau Arena 2025 point series. He's going to get lined up right now to the starting line. We've got yellow and green for the first race of the event. El Toro Loco is up over the racing lane. A great first lap now onto the inside. Beautiful corner, a little slow but very consistent. A nice tight corner around the outside for the final lap. Over the racing lane one more time and a 20.21 seconds for El Toro Loco. That is a great time to start off timed racing. Super smooth, super clean pass. I've got a good feeling that is going to be a tough time to beat at this event. The black and green wrecking machine is up next. Gravedigger gonna try and take out El Toro Loco's 20.21 seconds. A super quick stage for Gravedigger. And we have green. He is off and racing. Beautiful job. First lap over the racing lane. Now on the inside. Wow! What a turn! Oh, man! He had such a good run going. Clips that box. I don't think he clipped that box enough to be able to have his score disqualified at 21.15 seconds. Man, if he did not wash out there and slide into where the tree is, he would have had it. If it wasn't for that bobble, that was a great run and a great second place for Gravedigger. Your last competitor out for timed racing is Megalodon. He's gonna have to try and beat El Toro Loco's 20.21. Oh, man. Looking like he was gonna go and take a pre-victory lap there, and he just banged into that box. We're gonna have to reset that before he's able to start his run. There we go. Alright, we're gonna get Megalodon to stage at the line. Megalodon has not won a racing competition in 4 events. He's going to want to break that losing streak. Or at least do his best to tonight. Megalodon is staged and ready to rock. And we've got green for your final competitor of timed racing tonight. Already a bobble. Has to back up and reset to that racing lane. Gets a bit caught up there. A great inside lap corner. Just not able to carry the momentum, to keep the momentum consistent. Huge air off of that racing lane, a 25.09. Unfortunately, the racing losing streak continues for Megalodon. Again, just wasn't able to keep it consistent. He had to check up way too many times throughout that run. And I think we're going to get a little replay here of him just sending it over that racing lane. Look at that. Big air. Hope to see that in long jump and freestyle, because that'll get him some big points back. Your next competition of the event is long jump with Megalodon coming back out onto the track to start us off. Let's see. He's going to... Oh, no. Thought he was going to take a lap around the track, but no. Just getting some extra room to back up and line up for that big long jump ramp. Let's see, you want to make sure you're perfectly straight on the ramp so that you hopefully get as much distance as you possibly can when you go off that lip there. He is lined up, and here we go! No test jump for Megalodon. Goes off a little sideways, but I think we're still going to be able to measure it accurately. El Toro Loco won our first long jump competition. Let's see if Megalodon can get it done. We're going to take the measurement right here from the top of that ramp all the way to where the tire marks are. That looks like a really good score. We'll see the confirmation. A 20.10 inches for Megalodon. That is a great starting score. That's going to be a tough one to beat. I think we're going to see a replay right after Megalodon comes off the track. Look at that, just perfectly. And then I think a little bit of turning the wheels at the end, and we measured right from where that back tire landed on the center of that diagonal jump. The second one out for long jump, it is the black and green wrecking machine. Gravedigger ready to dig up the competition. Wasting no time getting ready right at the top of that long jump ramp. He's going to slowly back it all the way down. You want to try and get as close to that white, your back tires as close to that white line as possible. Here we go! A great jump for Gravedigger. We're going to measure that right now. I think that's going to be a close one. Looked like a really solid jump. Wish he could have kept the back end in the air a little more. That looks like it's a little bit less than Megalodon. I think that'll be a good second place for Gravedigger. A 19 flat, 19 inches for Gravedigger for that long jump pass. That'll put him in a solid second place position. As we see Gravedigger trying to get off the track, giving the box a little shove. Making sure he doesn't hit that next time around. We'll see the replay here. Perfectly straight on with the ramp. Has a little correction right before it. And you see the front end just bounce, hitting the ground first. A great jump for Gravedigger, and we've got one more left for long jump. El Toro Loco, your last competitor up for long jump. He's won 4 racing competitions straight and one long jump last event as well. Let's see if he can make it 2 in a row on Track Style 4. Taking his time, lining up for it. Let's see if he can scooch back just a little bit more. Perfect. Ready to rock. See if it takes a test attempt, or if this is the one. There it is. Huge air for El Toro Loco. Looks like the rear end was a little bit sideways on that one. I'm not sure if that'll hinder him or not. Oh, that is a close one right there. Waiting for the official time. A 19.75 inches for El Toro Loco. That means Megalodon is your long jump winner. El Toro Loco a very close second. Still a great event for him so far. First in racing, second in long jump. We're going to take a look at that replay before overall after 2. Look at those wheels grip up and just send him flying off of that ramp. And you see there, that right rear tire landed before the left. It's time now for overall after 2, where we go through your overall event standings after the first 2 competitions of the event. We've got 2 more competitions to go after this, but so far El Toro Loco is in the lead for the overall event win with 8 points with that big win in racing, and second in long jump. Megalodon unfortunately fell short, had to check up too many times in racing, got last, only 1 point, but a big win in long jump for Megalodon will put him in second place, a good position for the overall. Gravedigger, second in racing, last in long jump with 4. Still much better of a position than he could be in. Gravedigger currently leading the point series. El Toro Loco trying to get back to that high. I believe El Toro Loco is only a couple points behind from Megalodon in the overall season point standing, so this is going to be a very close and competitive match going into the second half. Let's see. El Toro Loco, if Gravedigger wins the next 2 competitions and El Toro Loco gets second the next two competitions. Gravedigger will take the overall. It is seriously anybody's game going into our next competition. It is going to be skills with Megalodon starting us off. Megalodon has one attempt, and he's got to make the most of it. Cruises over the racing lane just for you Monster Truck fans. Eyeing up that diagonal. Possibly a cross thread. Now looking at the single log ramp. Taking his time, eyeing up which ramp is going to give him the biggest move. And here he goes. It looks like he's going for a reverse popper off of the long jump ramp. Got to make sure he's lined up for it. Spinning those tires up at the top. Creating a little rut for the front tires to give him an extra pop. Thought he was going for it there. I think one more time. There we go. Had to get the other one in there. Lined up perfectly. Here we go. Oh, off a bit sideways. A reverse popper with a twist for Megalodon. Tears up the ramps at the end there. A 5.125 for Megalodon in the skills competition. And I think we're going to take a replay at this here. We see the tires grip in, and then right there he tried to correct it, but it just wasn't enough. Kicks the front end up, but lets it go sideways, and he has to crawl over that ramp to get out of the pit. A great first run for Megalodon, and El Toro Loco is up next to try and take it away. Again, one hit for the Crazy Bull. Looks like he's lining up to maybe cross-thread the tabletop. Taking a good look at it. Maybe a sky wheelie off of the 12-pack. Oh! Just taking a look at the track. These drivers, they can't move their heads side to side. They only have their peripheral vision, so if they want to get a good look at something, they have to face the truck directly at it. Looks like he is going to line up sideways to go maybe off of the side of that long jump ramp for maybe a bicycle save, something like that. This is going to be an interesting move here. And he just was not able to drop off that front right tire enough to be able to lift the opposite side of the truck in the air. A 4.125. Still a good attempt for El Toro Loco. And he's just going to cruise down that ramp for you Monster Truck fans. One more time. A good attempt for El Toro Loco. Unfortunately, the skill slump still continues, but it's really nice to see him still innovating nonetheless. Let's look at this replay right here. And again, yeah, just wasn't quite enough to be able to lift the truck up like that. That's more of what he wanted right there at the very end. But, you know, a little too late on that one for El Toro Loco, but a nice thought process for him there. Second place so far. A 5.125 to beat, and Gravedigger is the last truck up to try and top it. He's going to take a look at the side of the pod. Taking his time, lining up for it. Maybe he's thinking a similar thing to El Toro Loco, but just slamming that upper ramp. Taking another lap around. Let's see if maybe he's going to go for his signature reverse popper. He got one in his encore attempt last event. Let's see if he can do it the first time at this event. Event 20, 20th event of our 5th anniversary season for the Plateau Arena. He's going to take his time lining up for it. Just like long jump, you want to make sure this is straight. Otherwise, you end up like Megalodon and you kick it off to the side. Here he goes! Oh, very similar attempt to Megalodon. And again, he just digs a grave in the pit right after. A 5 flat for Gravedigger, and he's going for it again! And again, the encore attempt, he was able to get it and just fling the truck over onto the roof, onto the windshield. Just for you Monster Truck fans, a second place finish for Gravedigger at 5 flat. Just a little bit less impressive of an attempt for Megalodon, and I think right here, yeah, this is his first attempt right here, just was not enough of a pop, and there he goes, just digging that grave once again. So fitting for this truck. Has to back up off of it, and then just decides to go for it again. Here we go. The second attempt, all for you fans, not for scores. Perfectly. Kicks the front end up, beautiful. Shifts it. Slams the back of the body down, and boom! Right on the windshield, that drop off for Gravedigger, and that's how he is going to end his run. Megalodon takes away the skills win as well, and it's time for freestyle. Gravedigger flipped over, ready to rock. Time started already. Spins that wheel right up on top. He's gonna back it up, line it up for the side of the pod. Has some trouble getting over it, but he's able to get that rear tire to grip and carry him over now across the racing lane. These trucks have a full 2 minutes, a full 120 seconds for their freestyle. Gravedigger going sideways across the pod. Now lining up for a cross thread. There we go. Keeping really good momentum through this run. Just keeping on. Immediately after skills, starting freestyle after he gets rolled back over. Now for the single log across the tabletop. Tabletop of the pod. Here he goes again, another crossover. If he fills the time, this should be a pretty well-scored run for the black and green wrecking machine. Look at that, right up the 12-pack. I don't even think he touched any of the barrels in there. He just came right over top of it. Oh, and he goes for a reverse popper in freestyle with 30 seconds left. Just ragged edge freestyle now for the last few seconds of this run. Oh, maybe a little bit of electrical issues, but he's able to keep going no matter what. New batteries may be giving him some issues, I'm not sure. But he's got 10 seconds left for you Monster Truck fans, and over he goes. The last few seconds of the run, they are going to let him fill the time, even if the last couple seconds were on the roof. An 8.735 for Gravedigger. An amazing run to start off freestyle, and the perfect, most typical Gravedigger finish to it on the side of the truck. Look at that, and the back tire just grips it and lets the truck carry all the way up, lifting that front left or front right tire all the way up in the air. Gravedigger's flipped over and coming off the track. We'll see a little bit more replay here. Oh, and he just slides down. He was almost able to rail grind across and ends it right on the hood. The truck shifts over and onto the side into the pit for Gravedigger. What a great run. El Toro Loco is ready for freestyle and sending it off of the single log ramp to start it off. A tough score to beat from Gravedigger into the high 8s. Having to back up a little bit at the start of this run, but hey, so did Gravedigger. A nice cross over top of the tabletop. Not quite a rail grind on top. But here he goes. He's going for the 12-pack and is able to carry it all the way over. Backs up, goes for that single log again. I hope we get to see a replay of that. The suspension just working, coming off of the pod. Here we go for the cross thread, and isn't quite able to get it. Just stuffs the front end of the truck. Oh man! Wow! He just slammed like the people's elbow that front right tire into the side of the 12-pack. Oh, and he's trying to get across the pod. This is not good for his momentum. Third time's the charm. He gets up and over the pod. He's going to line it back up again. Second time over the 12-pack. Still no less amazing, and an arguably even better reverse popper for El Toro Loco. 30 seconds left. An amazing run. I think if he would have been able to get across the pod more instead of just pile driving it over and over again, I'm not sure. The judges might love it, but El Toro Loco, still a really good run nonetheless. This is going to be a tough judge. I think Gravedigger might have him. El Toro Loco was able to fill the time. I think they're going to let him have one more move across the long jump ramp. An 8.012, so close. Second place for El Toro Loco. A great run. And I'm excited to see some replays here. Look at this one. So similar to a rail grind. Just comes right up and right down. Oh man, and you can see the suspension work in there. A thing of beauty for El Toro Loco. And now look at this, and a fairly uncommon reverse popper for El Toro Loco in the middle of the freestyle. He saw Megalodon and Gravedigger doing it and was like, I want to take my shot at this, and what a beauty. I think that might be maybe not the most in terms of wow factor, but definitely the cleanest reverse popper of the event. A great run for El Toro Loco. Second place so far. Gravedigger, still your score to beat. We've got one more to come out and freestyle, and it is Megalodon starting off already with a wow factor move. And now going for the cross thread. Similar to El Toro Loco, was not able to make it off that jump, and oh no! Little less than 20 seconds into the run, and Megalodon is over. He will not qualify for a score. What a tough break, a tough rollover for Megalodon. In the lead for the point series chase for the event. And let's see the replay here, the move that ended his run early. So close. If he had maybe turned the front tires, he might have saved it, I'm not sure. But the truck just goes over on its side. We are definitely flipping him back over and giving you Monster Truck fans an encore, don't you worry. But for now, let's take a look at these freestyle results. Gravedigger with the freestyle win with an 8.735. 5 points for that freestyle win. El Toro Loco a close second with an 8.012. 3 points for that freestyle, and Megalodon had such a good night going, but unfortunately just rolls it early in freestyle. Does not qualify for a score. A DNQ, 0 points for that freestyle. But like I said, we have rolled Megalodon back over, and we got an encore for you Monster Truck fans. The huge jump off of the single log ramp, comboing it immediately to the racing lane, and now Megalodon going for a cross thread through the pit, comboing it up, and a wall ride for Megalodon in the encore. What a move! A cross thread now just coming around the track. Let's see what else he's got in store. What a move. And that was all for you fans right there. I hope that counts as a nomination for one of our awards at the end of the season. Tearing up this track. This is the end of this paint style for Track Style 4. So Megalodon is going to just absolutely rip it up for you monster truck fans. Gonna back it up all the way right into the 12 pack. A huge jump. Looks like he was reversing to try and go for a reverse popper, but just slips right off. Slipping and sliding around the track. It's become super, super slick now from all the loose dirt on it. There we go! He was able to get the reverse popper, kicks him off to the side again, but a great move for Megalodon. This is not for scores. This is just to make up for rolling over early in freestyle. Gonna do a burnout on top of the pod. Ladies and gentlemen, Megalodon. It's time for the replay. Let's see these incredible moves. Look at this wall ride right here with the save. Did you see how high that front left tire was in the air? That was such a huge move. And now look at the suspension just work with this cross thread right here. Goes off of that diagonal ramp and then just slings it across the long jump ramp. And now right here, the beauty. Reverse popper from Megalodon. Kicks it off a little sideways because that ramp is a bit uneven from the trucks tearing it apart. Still a sweet move for Megalodon. What an encore. That has to be, I think, one of my personal favorites of the season. And the overall event standings, Gravedigger takes it with the freestyle win. Gravedigger and El Toro Loco tie for the overall, but Gravedigger with that freestyle win, the highest freestyle score, breaks that tie. So Gravedigger is your overall event winner with 12 points. Gravedigger second in racing, last in long jump, second in skills, and the win in freestyle, staying consistent. El Toro Loco doing the same, first in racing, second in long jump, last in skills, still in that slump, and second in freestyle. Megalodon almost had it at the end if he could have capitalized on that freestyle, but the season point standings right now, Gravedigger still leading with 194, Megalodon 15 points behind Gravedigger with 179, and El Toro Loco now 2 points behind Megalodon after gaining 1 point with 177. With that, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like on this video to support the channel, and we hope to see you for the next event on that track scheme right there, event 21 on Track Style 4.